How to poeticize your presence in love letter form and in general. So this is so cute. This is like a penguin, and this is a cup from Starbucks. The amount of money Starbucks has taken from me, and I have handed it to them willingly. Anyways, but how to poeticize your presence? I actually find it interesting because I am a poet. I find that fascinating. I'm joking, but what I do find interesting is I actually think people could analyze my poem much better than I could, because I'm just doing things and then they happen. But someone else who's really studied poetry in a way I have never studied it would have so much insight about me that I wouldn't have. So it's interesting. So this is half research, half my own opinion, because I just do it. And some people really know why it is. You know what I mean? Like, some people are athletes and some people are sports psychologists. And the sports psychologist knows it almost to a deeper level. It's just so interesting. Anyways, so this is partially for a love letter. Almost everything I say is for a love letter. That's a joke. Please don't. Like, that can go wrong. But how to poeticize your love letters and yourself. Because I think poetry is the last glimpse of humanness we have. And you're like, science, what about science? Science is not human. I mean, science is obviously human in its entirety. Of humans have studied science. But it's math, it's numbers, it's kind of dry. There's something very human and passionate about poetry. It's usually the poets themselves. Oh, poets. Never do I hear about a poet and I'm like, oh, nice. Such a chill life. But again, they probably wouldn't make good poetry either if they did that. So we'll cut this. No, we won't. We'll leave it in the video, but we'll move on. I really don't want to edit this video, so we're just going to do it with one take. Okay, let's get into it. Do not overdo the love letters. Do not overdo them. Why? Because there is a sense of words lose their meaning if you use them too often. Compliments lose their gravity if you say them too often. And love letters lose their novelty if you write them too often. First of all, you're gonna get repetitive. Even if you take all of the prompts, you're gonna get repetitive. Even I am repetitive in the videos, because there's certain things that just are like the bread and butter. This is the second time I say bed and butter instead of bread and butter. I'm not eating bread at the moment, and clearly my brain even is like, we cannot say bread. Okay, but yeah. Number 2, don't make it predictable. Don't make it a pattern. Love letters are supposed to be something luxurious, and luxury is not a pattern. And that's why luxury is a vague term. Because to someone, luxury is walking the street and nobody like talking to them because they're famous, and this privacy is a luxury. To somebody else, luxury is like monetary things. To somebody else, luxury is time because they have so little time. But anything luxurious is, there's less of it than, there's more of a demand than there's a supply. I think it's interesting throughout history, the things that have been considered a luxury. Salt, yeah, you heard it right. The thing you just not even sparingly put on your food used to be a luxury because it was rare. There was a time where tulips were really rare and really a luxury item, and tons of other things throughout history that now we take for granted and we buy easily and are super cheap, and used to be huge luxuries. So to make anything a luxurious experience, you actually don't make it more perfect, you just make it more rare. So don't do it every month, maybe even every month, but don't make it a pattern. So if it's like every month, once write 2 very close together and then wait a little and then write another. Just don't make it a pattern, because you can't make it so rare that it never happens, that it doesn't exist. You don't want to make anything a pattern. You know it's not rare and luxurious patterns. They're literally the opposite. Someone who stays at a 5-star hotel all the time, it doesn't feel luxurious. And what you're chasing with a love letter is a feeling more so than a fact. Thanking them for existing. I think that's a really cute thing that in Robert Greene's book of Poeticizing Your Presence was one of the quotes from one of the women. She said she was thanking a guy for existing, and I found that so cute. I think thanking anyone for just their mere existence, that they're on this planet, that they were born, is so cute. I think that's why birthdays have always been something I really, really value, because it's the one day, for whoever birthday it is, where you just are happy they exist. You're not like, congratulations for graduating, congratulations for getting married, congratulations for that. And those are great. I love those. And they only happen once. Well, not all of them, but they tend to only happen once. And there's a value to them, absolutely. But there's something really cute and beautiful about just someone being born and then everyone crowding around and celebrating every year that they were born. I think it's so adorable. Okay, next one. How are you on their team? I think that's just a good thing to add in. I think it's good to be on somebody's team, and I think team is the perfect word, because if you have a teammate on football or soccer or whatever, it's not that you never give them feedback. It's not that you never tell them, hey, you should have shot better at this, you should have done that better. I have no sports metaphors to give you, I'm so sorry. But if you know, you know. It's not that you never give them feedback. They just know you want them to win as much as you want to win. And that's kind of why being on someone's team is a really, really good way to think of it. Next one. Be mysterious. How can you be mysterious in a love letter? You can be mysterious in a love letter through not saying everything. Leaving some space for the compliments. In the sense of, when you compliment someone, you can very much so say, and I can't even name all the things I love about your eyes. And then they, in their own head, can fill in the blank of looking for, what can someone love about my eyes? Because the human brain likes answers, it likes definites. That's why if you watch a scary movie, you want to finish watching it, because your brain does not like if you're in the middle of a story. And so the same is with your brain and compliments. So if you leave it open, they're gonna fill it. Well, my eyes are blue. My eyes are obviously not blue, but I'm giving an example. My eyes are blue. My pupils dilate. Like, they're gonna think of things for their eyes. They're gonna do your work for you, kind of. But you obviously have to mean it. But if you kind of are speechless or don't have the words for it, you can say half the compliment and leave it blank and have them fill it in, which I think is an adorable way to do it. I need to stop saying adorable and cute. I need to find better words. Anyways. Absent makes the heart grow fonder, because the heart will reach to change the distance. That's why you want, this is such a technical term, but it's true, supply and demand. You want the demand to be at least as strong as the supply. You never want a huge supply for something nobody wants. You know what I mean? And so, coming back to the original point at the beginning, you want to make it rare. You want to not overdo it. Also because, unless you're a professional writer, it's gonna start feeling robotic, because it's gonna start feeling very much like you're filling out a formula, I think. Honesty without caveats and excuses. That's the appeal of a poem, in my opinion, and the appeal of a poet is the honesty. There, for sure, are very flawed, me included. I always say that, and they know. You don't need to tell them. They know, but whatever. But you know what I mean. But there's this honesty to sadness and anger and whatever the poem is encapsulating. And you want to encapsulate that in a love letter too. You want to be honest, without caveats, without excuses. You don't ever want, in a love letter, to excuse yourself. In the sense of well, I'm not shallow, but you look great. Scratch the I'm not shallow part. They know, and if they don't know, you saying it won't convince them. Don't compare humans. You do not compare humans. I'm not saying no poet has ever not, that's a lot of no's, you know what I mean, compared humans to each other. It's quite rare, to be frank, though. I have not read that many poems, though, but I don't do it. I tend to not compare people, especially not concrete people, like this person to this person. You might compare someone to everyone, but you usually are not like, you look better than this person, you look like this person, nobody outside of like their parents, their siblings, and their dogs should be mentioned in a love letter. And also you shouldn't compare those either, but you can be like, oh, you have your smile from whatever. If they're very close to your family, you can. It's not the way I would write it, but you know your person better than I do, obviously. And to end this series is the thing I've said, I think, almost every video. Don't lie. If you have to lie to write a love letter, put the pen down. It's not for you. Also, people can tell when you're lying, and if you lie once, they assume you lied all the time. And obviously, just the general, like, it's not good to lie, but also it doesn't work. Like, it's just, there's like a whole circle of reasons why not to lie, especially in a love letter. So don't do it. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the series, and good luck with writing. Don't forget to check out the books that are about to pop up.